it's unbelievable. I watched Team Canada against Finland. It was a magnificent game. But it was overshadowed by all the other stuff that's going on. I want to ask Bill Watters, do you believe that this tournament does not do, I'm really proud of the Canadian players that went over to play, the American players, all the NHL players that went over to play for their countries. Do you believe it's overshadowed this time of year by everything else that's going on with the NBA playoffs and the NHL playoffs and junior hockey playoffs, Billy?
Well, what they have to recognize, Frank, is it's for the World Championship, and they don't have the best players there. And so they've either got to change it, like, say, it's the World Championship for under 24.
Or the World Championship after the playoffs or pre-playoffs.
Well, no, yeah, you could, but that's too tough. But if you...
I was being facetious, Billy. I apologize.
Well, you've got lots of scope from the standpoint of planning. I don't think that until and when either the Olympics become the World Championship for under 24, that's where they should make the differentiation. But as long as the World Championships are going on when some of the best players are still in the playoffs, you're never going to get the recognition you should get. But it applies to all teams. So to be fair to Canada, they legitimately won the World Champ. They were the best group.
They were definitely the best group. They played great, and McDavid is McDavid. He's the reason McDavid is McDavid. The proof is in the pudding. He's magnificent. Let me ask you a question. Why wouldn't they do this in the summer, and kind of feed the appetite of hockeyaholics in the summer?
I got to be honest with you, Frank. I think that most hockey players, once the playoffs done, they want to enjoy their summer. They don't really want to come overseas at that point. The reason they do that, the reason the timing is what it is because the season just ended, so the players are still in game shape, and the players who missed the playoffs can now play a little bit longer. And players like Corey Perry, who had a very disappointing end.
I think you can finish what you're saying, but you're wrong. I think right after the playoffs, if you do this and get like what Bill said, Bill's very perceptive. You don't have all of the great players there, and it kind of takes some of the air out of the tires. And I think that right after the playoffs, before the guys start their golf season, right? I think that they would go and play in this international tournament, and they would all go play.
Oh, they'd go, Frank, if the money was there.
Yeah,
right, and the money's not there.
If you could arrange a tournament on the 1st of July, they'd be there if the money was there.
I think they would go July 1st, and I think you would get the money because I think a lot of the major sponsors like Nike and the beverage guys and the beer guys would know that the Crosbys and the top of the line hockey players would all go there, and I think that they know that they would get peeps, and they would put their sponsorship dollars there.
It's just tough because July 1st, that's when all these free agents are really looking at their payday. Do you really want to risk an injury when you're signing?
They won't risk an injury. I think I disagree with you on this one here.
Yeah, it's fair.
I'm not trying to be argumentative. I'm just saying to you, going back to what Bill Watters said, to give validity and strength to this being the World Championship of the world's greatest hockey players, when the world's greatest hockey players are still playing in different parts of the world, if they want to make this tournament have any value, it would have to be with all the players. And I think
there's only 4 teams playing though, Frank. Right? I mean,
but technically, Bill is 100% right, and I'm going to agree with him. Technically, not all the best players are there.
No, a lot of them are there, and Alex Ovechkin, who lost in the second round, he went over and played for Russia as soon as the Capitals.
I know, and the Russian players are in awe.
That one, Eric. Don't get on that one. That's the style of that cumbersome kook.
Well, he did it, and they slaughtered the U.S. and the.
They always do. They're big when the season's over.
In the bronze medal game. You're right, though. I mean, where were they against Finland to get to the gold medal game? They came up short in that game. But yeah, Alex Ovechkin, that's his thing, right? Go over, play for his country. And since the Capitals have never been out of the second round with him, he always gets the chance to.